Hello friends, how are you? After discussing the four techniques of separation of components of mixture, which was evaporation, sublimation, etc. Now, in today's class, I am starting the fifth method of separation, which is chromatography. Yes, chromatography. Chromatography, it is derived from a Greek word chroma. It is derived from a Greek word chroma, which means color. Which means color. Okay. So historically, if we consider, then this technique was firstly used for separation of colors. This technique was firstly used for separation of colors. Okay. Now let me discuss about its definition. If we simply define it, then we can say that chromatography is a technique. Chromatography is a technique which used for separation of those solutes, that dissolve in the same solvent. That means it we can use chromatography to separate those components which dissolve in the same solvent. Okay. if we use if we discuss about its application, then this technique, or it is used in the separation and purification and testing of the compound of a mixture. Okay. Now let me move its second part, that is, what is the principle of this theory? What is the principle of this theory? This technique is based on the fact that different substances which can dissolve, which are dissolved in same solvent, have different solubilities. That means any substance, one of the substance can dissolve easily, rapidly, while the other dissolve slowly. Okay. One dissolve in with the fast speed, while second with the slow speed. Clear? So this technique is based on the fact that different substances which are dissolved, or which can dissolve in same solvent, have different solubilities. Okay. In that situation, the component which is more soluble the component which is more soluble in the same solvent, in more soluble in solvent, rise faster. That means travel faster with the solvent and get separate by mixture. Okay. In simple language, you can understand is like that. Suppose I am a solvent and you students are solute particles. As you know, some of the students have more affection with the teacher, okay, while some other have fear, or they do not like the teacher, maybe possible. Now suppose we are going for a tube. Now those friends who have more affection with me will will walk or will travel along with me, while the other student which have fear, or who do not like me, make distance. That means it will uh, remain in the backside. That means more affection come with me, while less affection separate from me. Similar thing is here. The component which is more soluble in that solvent rise faster with the solvent and get separate from other components of mixture. Okay. To understand it, now we do an activity. Okay. The activity is separation of colors of the black ink. Okay. For this, we take a strip of filter paper. Like this, and then draw a line approximately 3 centimeter above the lower edge. Okay. Now put a small drop of water soluble ink. We are taking water soluble ink because we use water as solvent in this experiment. Okay. So put a small drop of water soluble ink at the center of the line. Now let dry it. After drying, put the filter paper into a jar containing water. Make sure that the drop of the ink just above the water level is just above the water level. Do not submerge in the water, because if it submerge in the water, then it will dissolve here and do not rise with the water. So it should be just above the water. Okay. Now left it undisturbed for some time. Left this setup undisturbed for some time. Here, when the water rise up, because as you know this is filter paper and the paper have absorbing capacity of water. If you consider, it is known as capillarity. If you don't know, then it's okay. Because of the absorbing nature, the water rise up, and when the water rise up, then the water soluble ink, their dyes, will dissolve in water and start to move with the water. Okay. The ink or the component which is more soluble will travel faster with the water, while the other which are less soluble will move slowly with the water. Suppose it has two components, one is more water soluble and second is less water soluble. Suppose that is the level of water, raised level of water. The more soluble will be here and less soluble will be here. Got it? So in this way, the both components separate from each other. Okay. Now let me read this theory. Take a thin strip of filter paper and draw a line approx 3 centimeter above the lower edge. Put a small drop of water soluble ink at the center of the line. After drying, put the filter paper into a jar containing water. This one, the drop of the ink just above the water level. We have to make sure it. Okay. Now left it undisturbed for some time. In this activity, as the water rises on the filter paper, it takes along the dyes particle. The water rises up, then it takes along the dyes particle. The component of ink, that is dye, which is more soluble in water, rises faster. Okay, and gets separate from the other component of the ink. Okay, so this is the chromatography technique of separation of components of any color. Now its application. First, to separate color of a dye or ink, it is used to separate the colors of a dye or ink. Secondly, it is used to separate pigment from natural colors. It is separate from the pigments from natural colors. Okay. Third, it, it is used to separate drugs from blood. It is used to separate drugs from blood. Okay. In the detection that the person which kind of drug is taken, this test is done. With the help of that, the drugs particles separate from the blood and they can easily detect by medical superintendents. Okay. Now, our next technique is distillation method. Next technique is distillation method. This method is used to separate two miscible liquids. This technique is used to separate two miscible liquids. That means those liquids which can dissolve in each other. That means which can mix with each other, like the water, lemon juice. Okay. So this technique is used to separate such miscible liquids. Now, its definition. Evaporation followed by condensation is called distillation. Evaporation followed by condensation is called distillation. It means firstly here evaporation process takes place and then condensation. Evaporation, that means liquid convert into the gas. Condensation, it means conversion of gas again into liquid. Clear? Okay. The flow chart of this method is this. Here, the mixture of the miscible liquids taken in a flask and then evaporation takes place. Heated it so that the component which have lower boiling point, the liquid which has lower boiling point, get evaporate and convert into the vapor form, while the other liquid which have higher boiling point will remain in the liquid form in the flask. Okay. Now this vapor is condensed by condenser assembly. That is a device we will discuss in after few minutes. That means now, due to condensation in condenser, this liquid which have lower boiling point can again convert into liquid, but it is collected at the other end of condenser. So one liquid which have high boiling point remain in the flask, while the other liquid which has lower boiling point get separate. Okay. Now the distillation is two type. The distillation method is two type. One is simple distillation and other is fractional distillation. One is simple distillation and second is fractional distillation. Simple distillation is used when the miscible liquids of mixture boil without decomposition. They should not decompose, because if they decompose then there is no use of the separation of that. So they should be boiled without decomposition and have sufficient difference in their boiling point. The minimum difference in boiling point for the simple distillation is 25 degrees Celsius, or we can write it 25 Kelvin also. 25 Kelvin or 25 degrees Celsius or more. 25 degrees Celsius or Kelvin or more. Okay. Now, how this setup is work, how the distillation process takes place. To understand it, let me consider an example of separation of the acetone and water from their mixtures. Separation of acetone and water from their mixtures. Okay. This is total distillation assembly. One by one, let me discuss about it. Firstly, it is called distillation flask or round bottom flask. It is called distillation flask or round bottom flask. Okay. Here the mixture of the material which we have to separate taken. it is placed on a stand and heated with the help of burner. Clear? Its upper portion, there is a tube like structure which attach with a condenser assembly, which is attached with condenser assembly. It is called condenser assembly because the process of condensation takes place here. Because the process of condensation takes place here, that's why it is called condenser. Here the condensation process takes place with the help of water, that's why it is called water condenser. Otherwise there are different other condensers like the air condensers. Okay, clear? The condenser assembly's first end is connected with the down bottom flask, and second end is at second end here, that is outlet. That means the liquid which condense here comes out from that point. Okay, this water condenser have a jacket through which this pipe passed out. In jacket, water flow continuously, which makes it cooler, makes it cool, so that the gas which comes here easily condense into liquid form. Got it? Now there is a thermometer also to measure the temperature of gas which is passing through this. Okay, now let me take an example to describe it more clearly. Suppose we have an mixture of acetone and water. We place it in here and now start the heating process slowly. Got it? Here the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius while the boiling point of acetone is 56 degrees Celsius. So boiling point of acetone is lower. When the temperature of the assembly distillation flask reaches to 56 degrees Celsius, the acetone start to evaporate and convert into the gas form. This acetone now passed through condenser assembly where it comes in contact with the cold water. Due to condensation process, because when a gas comes in contact with the cold surface, then it convert into the liquid state again. So here, due to cooling, the acetone gas convert into liquid. Since it is tilt, that's why the acetone cannot come back here, so it comes downside and collect here. When all the acetone collected here, then the water remains in this flask. Got it? Now let me read its theory. Take the mixture of acetone and water in distillation flask and fit a thermometer. Now attach the condenser as shown in the diagram. Okay, now heat the mixture slowly and note the temperature. When the temperature reaches at the boiling point of acetone, that is 56 degrees Celsius, it vaporizes, that means convert into the gas form. The vapor of acetone condense in condenser and can collect from the outlet of the condenser, that means at the second side, the downside of condenser, while the water which have high boiling point is left behind the distillation flask. So in this way we can easily separate the two miscible liquids which have boiling point difference is 25 degrees Celsius or more. Okay, now if the two liquids which miscible liquids have boiling point difference is less than 25 degrees Celsius, then what we can do in that situation? In that situation, we can use another distillation method which is called fractional distillation. This method is used to separate those miscible liquids whose boiling point difference is less than 25 degrees Celsius or 25 Kelvin. Okay, in this method there is a extra column between the round bottom flask, that is distillation flask, and condenser assembly. This extra column is called fractionating column. This is called fractionating column. If we consider the normal fractionating column, then it is a long tube. It is a long tube having glass beads, glass balls. Okay, having glass beads. These beads provide surface for the evaporation, for the vapor to cool and condense repeatedly. It results very slow increase in the temperature of setup, so the liquid can separate completely and easily. Suppose as we are taking the example of water and ethanol. Water's boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius while ethanol is 78.6 degrees Celsius. So the difference is less than 25, so we can use fractionating distillation. Now suppose that is the mixture. When we start the heating, the water and ethanol start to their temperature start to rise up. Since they have very marginal difference, very less difference, so there is a chance that both of liquids convert into vapor. In this situation, this fractionating column helps to separate them. When the gases rise up and the gases strike with the fractionating column, the glass bits of fractionating column, then they again condense. They condense because these are cool surface, and the liquids fall back again in the same flask. In this process, the temperature of the glass bits increase slightly. Again the liquids fall down and then again convert into gas form and rise up. Again they comes in the contact with the glass beads and again they condense. This repeated process increase the temperature of glass beads very slowly. When the temperature of glass beads becomes equal to one of the component, here that is ethanol, then they allow the ethanol to pass through them, but they do not allow the water. Okay, so ethanol collect here and then comes here and flow into condenser assembly where it convert into gas form and collected here got it clear? So in this way, this fractionating column help us to control the rise up of the temperature. It helps to slow rising of temperature in distillation flask. Got it? Now let me discuss its applications. First, it used to separate petroleum component from the crude oil. From the earth crust, we obtain crude oil. The components like the diesel, petrol, kerosene, LPG, coal tar, etc., wax, etc., separated by using the fractional distillation. Okay. Second is to separate the different gases from air. As you know, air is a mixture of gases. So this method is help to separate the gases. Okay. Now let us discuss that how it takes place. So our topic is separation of gases from air. As you know, air is a homogeneous mixture of gases. Air is the homogeneous mixture of gases. Okay, these gases can be separated by fractional distillation. These gases can separated by fractional distillation. Here in this method, the air firstly filtered and then compressed and cooled. By increasing the pressure it is compressed, and by decreasing the temperature it is cooled, and because of the compression and cooling it convert into the liquid air, that means comes in the liquid form. Now this liquid air allowed to warm up slowly in fractionating column, where the different gases separate as their boiling points. Firstly obtain nitrogen, then argon, and then we finally obtain the oxygen. Clear? Now its theory, let me discuss. In this process air is compressed and then cooled to get liquid form. This liquid air is allowed to warm up slowly in fractionating column, where gases separate according to their boiling points. Okay, about the last topic we will discuss in next class. Thank you.